Hey everybody! In today's video, I'm going to show you how to add details to small or monochromatic images using colored pencils and also pens. I am working with this ridiculously adorable giraffe set from My Favorite Things. I'll link you in the description. I'm going to use this little tall guy on the right. And I'm super excited to try out these new to me Arteza pencils, which I end up loving. I've been on a colored pencil streak lately. This set does have matching dies, as you can see, but I'm actually going to use just masking. For colored pencil work, I really like Gina K's Artist Choice cardstock. It's not coated, and so it has a little bit of tooth to grab the pencil. So I'm stamping the giraffe, coming in off the upper right-hand corner of a card front. I do have my cardstock pre-cut for me, so I don't have to worry about that. And now I'm just going to add a couple of details to this little guy. He's cute, just stamped, but I wanted to try these pencils out. Now they come in this little tub and they come with sort of a flat point, as you can see. So you always want to have a sharp point. So I just sharpened this really quickly. My favorite sharpener will be linked below. It has an auto stop function, and so it doesn't break or over sharpen your leads. I'm going over the whole giraffe with this pale yellow color. This will be sort of the base giraffe color, if there is such a thing. You can make your giraffe any color you want. I'm making mine a pale yellow. So all of the white areas except his nose will be filled in. There's a nice little color guide on the outside of the pencil case. And so I'm going to use this burnt ochre for outlining each one of the giraffe's little spots. This is not very much work. It's not hard to do, but it adds quite a bit to the way the giraffe ends up looking. It makes him look more dimensional, and it brings those spots out just a little bit. Because what is a giraffe without his spots? I mean, come on. I'll also add shading around the edges of the giraffe's neck and on his nose. I will be going over his nose and eyes to make them darker, but I wanted a base layer of shading. Sorry about my voice, still having a hard time with these storms and all the things that grow as a result. So adding shading around the edge is what makes him look dimensional. So I'll do that first with this color. And then I'm also going to add a deep dark shadow color with a dark brown. I had to blow off the dust there. And here comes the dark brown. Again, I'm sharpening each one of these pencils before I use them. You really can't sharpen your pencils enough while you're coloring, especially if you're working with a small image. I think sometimes when people are stamping with small images like this, they feel like there's not a lot that they can do to add interest to the image, and that is not true. But to do it in this case requires a sharp pencil and a fine point pen, which I'm going to show you later. Especially under his chin, since his head is in front of his body physically, I want a much darker shadow. That will make it look like his head actually is sticking out towards the viewer of the card. And that's a little detail that can add quite a bit to an image. Look how cute he is. That's ridiculous. I'll extend that shadow more on one side than on the other. I always do that. I don't know why. I think the asymmetry looks really nice. And the extra dark line at the edge of the giraffe's neck and body makes him look more three-dimensional. The harder the contrast you can have between areas that are in front of an area or in back of an area, the more realistic it will look. Now, I got these new Arteza pens at the same time that I got the pencils, and I really like them. They're a fine point, and they're triangular, so they're super easy to hold, and you get a whole bunch of them, which I love because I tend to lose things. I'm not going to lie. Now, I have a little strip of masking paper. I never throw any piece of masking paper away, no matter how small, because you can always use it for some image. So I just put them back in the package. I'll link you to my favorite masking paper. And this time I'm just stamping him in black just to make him easier to see for me to cut out. And I won't make you watch me cut him out. So he's cut out, and I'm going to stick him down on top of the colored image. Make sure he's all the way stuck down, because you'll see in a minute, it's also stuck to my grid paper, and so he lifts up just a little bit. Or you can just cut off the extra. So now I'm using my blender brushes to brush on some blue ink to make it look like he's looking down at me. If you've ever been to a wildlife park where you could sort of interact with the animals, they sometimes look down into your car as you're driving through. And that's the feeling that I wanted to give here, because unless you're a freakishly tall person, the giraffe is always going to be looking down at you. So there is a more detailed, small and monochromatic image with just a quick bit of colored pencil work. It's been fun being a guest at my favorite things this month. Thanks so much for watching.